Okay. I have the privilege today to talk to you about something I think we've all been very exposed to. And obviously it's the pirating of music and software. For the freshmen in here, part of our freshman seminar was actually listening to a lecture about the ethical implications of pirating. And so I'm not going to go deep into that today. I'll open the door. It's stealing, and we're going to close the door on that. So I'm not going to revisit the ethical issues at all. What we're going to really look at today is the nuts and bolts of it, and just how drastic it does affect the economy. And if you're doing it, you need to stop it now. Obviously, it's done on such a widespread basis, and I think everyone in here has either done it or knows someone who's done it, and we have to justify it in our minds some way, or else we wouldn't really partake in it. Too often, we think like Alice Freytrag in the Michigan State Press and the State News, as he quoted, saying, the more people are exposed to their music, the bigger they will, the bigger following they'll have, which is a good thing. It's right. But then where he trips up is in the next statement when he says, in reality, free and easy distribution of an artist's work actually helps the artist. We shouldn't be worried about taking the bread out of their mouths. Now, first off, he's in no position to say this. The artist is the least of our concern, honestly. There are much biblical economic implications than stealing from the artist. And also, this is really a socialistic concept, the idea that someone who has so much, he wouldn't mind if we really just took a little bit from him. So this throws up a lot of major red flags, but too often it's a justification in our minds. So let's look at some of the detriments to the economy and society it is. We don't think of job loss, and we don't think of the money loss that actually comes from this. Now, I'll just throw out some stats here. $13.1 billion were lost in software and music pirating. And that's an alarming rate. That is just exponentially high. But the problem is, that's stats from 2000. That has grown completely now to over $64 billion lost annually just because of music and software pirating. Now, I know those are big numbers. They're just numbers. That's all they are. So let me make them a little practical for you. The job loss. The University of North Carolina Law School made a statement that in music pirating alone, 71,000 Americans were put out of work. And then the fourth edition of Computer Science Illuminated made a similar statement referring to soft lifting or software pirating, that 107,000 Americans were put out of work. So we don't need to worry about taking bread out of the mouths of the artists. What we do need to worry about is taking bread out of the mouths of these 200,000 families. And so it is a huge detriment to our economy. Most drastically, we see in CD sales. That's where a lot of the revenue in the music industry comes from, and we've seen a steady decline. Now, a lot of people think it's because of the creation of iTunes and MP3 files and all that CDs are becoming obsolete. As I'll show you in this. This is a graph of the CD sales over the past couple of years. As you can see, it is on a steady decline, and it's beginning to tank. But what this red line is the year 2001, when Steve Jobs introduced iTunes to the market. So iTunes wasn't at the peak of CD sales when music was booming. iTunes didn't affect it. As you can see, CDs were already drastically coming down. So this fall is not due to iTunes, although it could have played a part, but this fall is due to pirating, and we're losing billions and billions of dollars every year because of it. Now, who's to blame because of this problem? 82% of music and software pirating come from our very age group, the 18 to 29 age range. That's 82%. Now let me give you a little perspective. 32% of people within this age range own an iPod, and 90% of people from the 18 to 29 range own a cell phone. So there are as many people pirating music as there are people who have cell phones. It's just an alarming number, and it's destroying our economy. And of this 82%, 80% of them knowingly steal while being fully aware of the copyright laws. So it is a problem. And just to make it a little more practical for you guys, let's see. The Sunday Times, the June 16th edition of 2008, made a statement, and James Lewis reported that the average American within this range, 18 to 29, has $841 worth of pirated music. So in a class this size, that's about $20,000 a hit that's taken to the music and software industry. So to conclude, no, we don't have to worry that much about taking bread out of the mouths of the artists. But we pound our fists constantly, and we get upset every other November that politicians are taking our jobs, and really it's in our own backyard that we're stealing them from our fellow Americans. The U.S. economy, it's on its downhill, but what we notice is that billions and billions of dollars a year are being taken away. And so it trends. It raises the iTunes prices for the moral. I mean, my library has taken a hit. I'm down to 103 songs, and I never have pirated, and I never will. But I really hope this has encouraged you to stop pirating. I mean, help out your fellow Americans, help out the economy, and just don't do it anymore. Thanks so much.